Hello, hey everybody, welcome. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Hello to all the members. I see you all there in green. Thank you as well for being here. I am coming to you live, still in Clearwater. Outside today, we're trying something a little bit different. I think the lighting is better. And why not? If you can be a little bit outside while we're still here, why wouldn't I do that? So we are going with it. We're outside. I wonder if you guys can hear the birds. Tell me if you can hear the birds in the chat. I love hearing the birds. Thank you to my mods so much today. Nancy's here, my Tony's here, Grace Kelly's here. If any of you have questions, put question in all caps in front of it, and then we'll try to get to as many questions as we can as well. Great to see everybody. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where I talk about the news that has the internet buzzing when it comes to Scientology. I also share about my 35 years in Scientology, leaving with 3 generations of my family, and do interviews with people in and around the community. So when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell as well, so you get notifications when I go live, because you never know. You just never know. Never know when I'll just pop in, especially while we are here out of town in Clearwater. All right, we have some awesome things to talk about. I am beyond excited today because there are a few things happening in the Scientology world that have me going, oh, and oh my gosh, and thank goodness. And we're going to talk about all of it. All of it, all of it. And I want to hear from you. Tell me what you think about these things in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, jump on in too. I want to hear from you in the comments. Go ahead and ask your questions. We'll try to get as many of those answered in the comments as we can as well, even after the video. That's right, my pearls. All right, everybody. We are going to kick it off with a little bit more what I like to think of as some Scientology protesting history. Mark Bunker is back on YouTube. We talked about this yesterday. He is sharing a lot of older footage of protests, and lo and behold, who is in it but Tory Magoo 44, who also is now here on YouTube once again sharing her experience in Scientology, what it was like to be one of the people who was sent to handle protesters, and then she became one. She actually became a protester then. That's part of why I love her story so much. But we're going to take a little look at a video from, I want to say this was 2000 in Boston. And if you guys have been following Tory Magoo 44 here, then you will recognize her. Even though this was like a long time ago, she's got that same Tory spirit. Let's take a look.
I used to be out here fighting these guys, but I've had some realizations, and I want to be able to look, and I want to be able to read. And the other thing is every single parent should be able to talk to their children. Everyone. And I know people hear it and they go, because you're in the Truman Show. You don't see it. You haven't hit that wall yet. But when you get out of it, you go, what is that? A parent can't talk to their child because they're declared. It's like they can't be that bad. And you know what? They're not that bad. You get on the other side, they're not that bad. And that's not right. That is not right. It's not right to not let parents talk to children, and it's not right to not let people look or see. And I know everyone's going, but we can't look or see. No. Go on the internet, read, find out what happened when L. Ron Hubbard died. What did happen? Did you read that? No, you got the party line. What happened on a few different things where you're kind of like, what did happen on that? That's what you got to look at and find out. And then look for yourself and make up your own mind. I used to be.
Isn't that great? Look for yourself and make up your own mind. There's a novel idea. Oh, I just love her. And I love too that Laconic, I don't know if she was declared at that point. It had to have been really close, because if she's out there speaking her mind about Scientology and sharing about it, more than likely, I would have to guess, if not shortly after that. But I love seeing these videos with Tory, and I love that Mark Bunker, you can find his channel here on YouTube. Links to all the videos that we're going to look at today, little clips of, links down below in the description, so you can go watch them all. But that one I love. Now, YOUTOLOGY, YOUTOLOGY here on YouTube does these really good mashups and has done an incredible job showing different things happening in the protest world and Scientology news from different angles. YOUTOLOGY came out with a video. It's not super long. You can watch the whole thing after this, link down below. We're going to take a look at a little clip of it because, it just hits. It hits. Ooh, does it hit? It's about the children in Scientology, why we say Scientology is a human trafficking cult, what happens to the kids, the way the children are being mistreated. You've heard from many of us who grew up as children in Scientology, and this video really hits home. So I'm going to share this clip here. Let's take a look. This is YOUTOLOGY.
Total freedom, don't you?
Then report me when I fall asleep because I'm so tired. Then report me when I have taken food without permission because I am so hungry.
And remember, what's being said here about, report me when this happens, report me when that happens. These are things that actually happen. Each one of these I've heard on this video. I have heard from the actual person where this type of behavior happened and some of these specific instances happened.
Then report me when I cry because I'm so sad. You want to save the planet, don't you? You want me to save the planet, don't you? Then report me when I'm wild and having too much fun. Then report me when I'm tired and whining after 10 hours of work. Then report me when I'm angry and yelling. Then report me when I'm crying because I have to sit in an interrogation room for 6 hours being terrorized by an adult. Then report me when I refuse to be interrogated again. Then report me when I don't want to talk about sex. Then report me when I try to escape from the interrogation room.
It is heartbreaking, and it should be, because it is. And this is still happening today in Scientology, even though in the STEA organization, there aren't young kids anymore because they don't have the facilities for it. Frankly, they never did. They never should have had kids there in the first place. But there are still children in Scientology being trained to be Scientology auditors who would then audit adults and cover a lot of inappropriate material. Oh, didn't it hit? I know, it breaks your heart. Same. It's so well done. Let's talk about Canada a little bit. Jeff over at PTS for Life, he did a video sharing about there's an upcoming event happening where it's like going to be the ultimate fundraiser for Scientology to get all of the organizations in Canada to their ideal org status. They are also in Canada doing the whole scam going on in the United States and all over the place where David Miscavige, you guys know him. Some of you might know him as Tom Cruise's best friend, did decide years ago, you know what, let's get the members to pay for for buildings. Let's get the members to pay for the renovations. Let's get them to empty their bank accounts, max out their cards, give up their child's college fund, if they even have one, cash out that retirement so we can create these big, beautiful buildings with awesome landscaping that sit empty with nobody in it doing no good whatsoever. That is the scam of the Ideal Orgs, and that is what is happening. And in Canada, they've got an event coming up. Jeff has all the details. I'm just going to share a little clip from his video, but go check out the whole video for the full details.
And in Toronto itself, like, they have the building already. They're just letting it rot while they spend $20,000 on rent a month. So they cannot be in the building they already own. It's very strange. And in Edmonton just moved to like kind of a smaller but newer building, I believe. So they're pretty far off.
I didn't know that. How did you find that out, you little sneaky?
Oh, they've just moved. Their address is different, and if you look at on Google, it's a very new looking building.
Love that. So much too. People sometimes like, well, how'd you find that out? We're like, Scientology puts it on their own website sometimes. Information where the rest of us go like, how do they not see that that's a problem? But you know what? Bless their heart for doing so. It makes my job easier. But go check out that video from Jeff because he gets into the whole thing of what's happening, what's coming, and he makes such a good point about these Ideal Org buildings in Toronto, sitting there rotting while the Toronto organization is scraping together money each month to try and pay their rent when they have a whole new building sitting over here. We saw that in Austin. Remember when we heard about that? And then they finally opened the building. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous. All right, let's talk about, tell me, do I have anybody around here, anybody in the chat? Tell me in the comments, do you watch The Real Housewives, the franchise on Bravo? I have not watched it in a long time, but I sure am going to start. I need to like order Bravo again. I had canceled it a while ago because I really wasn't watching anything. But there is something that we can all be watching coming up. We're going to talk about this. So let's pull this up. This is The Real Housewives of New York. Okay. What are we looking at here? This is page 6. This information came out and it's just all over the place. Style star Rebecca Minkoff has been shooting for Real Housewives of New York City. So I have not watched The Real Housewives in New York City as a while, but I was a fan before. So I'm going to start watching again. But tell me in the comments, tell me in the chat, do you watch it? Have you watched it? Will you watch it now? I sure am. Okay, let's see. Let's take more of a look at this. Bravo is really rating the New York fashion space scene for reality fodder lately. In the last couple of years, J. Crew's superstar of chic Jenna Lyons and streetwear trailblazer Leah McSweeney of Married to the Mob have both appeared on the network's Real Housewives of New York City. Now, page 6 hears that it bag artist Rebecca Minkoff has been filming for the show as well. And this is her. She is a Scientologist, longtime Scientologist. Sources tell us that while the veteran designer has been shooting with the cast, it's not clear yet, even for Bravo, how big a part she'll play in the show. She may become a full member of the cast for next season, or she could be a recurring guest star on the reality staple. But we're told that news of her involvement is already fomenting disquiet. What does that even mean? Fomenting disquiet? Somebody tell me in the chat. Maybe someone can Google it. What is fomenting disquiet? In the Bravo verse, Minkoff is a longtime Scientologist and has many prominent friends in the controversial church. So let's talk about this. I am all for this. I had seen some in a few other spaces, people saying, oh, well, I'm going to boycott it if she's on. No. My opinion is this is the best thing since sliced bread. Putting a Scientologist on the Real Housewives on a reality show, I think is the best thing ever. Frankly, I hope she becomes a full-blown member of the cast. This is going to give us so much to talk about. And can you think about it? Scientologists, we're seeing more conversations with Scientologists at the different protests, and we're going to look at some really awesome clips coming up about that. But can you imagine one of them on a show like this? I'm floored that she even agreed to do it. This is huge, you guys. No, Afila, it's not a reason not to watch it. It is a reason to watch it because I have a feeling it is going to be something. If my predictions are correct, I think just trust me, this is going to cause horrific issues for Scientology. I would not be surprised. I have nothing to back up what I'm about to say. This is speculation on my part, so lean in. I'm even thinking like, is this part of like, is she leaving Scientology? Because I can't believe Scientology would ever be okay with this, but what a great way to leave Scientology. I'm not saying she is. I know I have no information to back that up, not even a rumor, pure speculation on my part. But I want to see it play out. I am totally okay with this and completely here for it. Yeah, Sandy McKenna, perhaps this will stir things up, more opportunity to expose the cult. If you haven't watched The Real Housewives of New York City, then maybe, you might not fully get how this is going to completely backfire on Scientology. I don't even want to say that because I want them to keep thinking this is a great idea. Yep. Tia and Jenny, we can only hope it showcased the cultiness of the cult of Scientology. Here's the thing, though. Whether that gets caught or not on camera, the media will be talking about it more, which opens the door for more people talking about it, for more opportunities to expose Scientology. Because when she's out doing the press junket, I'd like people to ask her, hey, how do you reconcile being a Scientologist, knowing about the abuses? Or did you not know? Let us fill you in. There's no way of not knowing. Maybe some of the other ladies will bring it up to her. Let's be honest. The whole Real Housewives franchise has lasted as long as it has because it creates controversy and drama, and people like to watch that. What could be more controversial and bring drama than bringing a Scientologist into the mix? Even if I wasn't who I am, I think I'd be all in on this anyways, because it just sounds fantastic. So that's right. See, Scooby Snacks, alcohol-induced behavior and Scientology sounds good. Okay. So Carrie's saying that means brewing trouble, fermenting disquiet, brewing trouble. Ah, yes. And you see the way they kind of like leak it, tease it. I think they're like kind of seeing like, would people be into this? The more controversy, the better when it comes to a franchise like that. They're not shying away from that. That's the whole idea. The scrapbooker, do you think it would be like when Kirstie Alley was on Celebrity Big Brother in the UK? You know what? I didn't even know that happened. When was she on Big Brother UK? I completely missed that back in the day when it happened. Oh, you can hear the birds. That's so cool. All right, let's see what we're going to take a look at next. Down the rabbit hole news. This is one of the ones that make me go, oh. So down the rabbit hole news. Rabbit has some information she was sharing that came up. You know how we were talking the other day about the attorney Brian Kent, who is on the board for Child USA, and Brian Kent is an attorney that multiple victims of Scientology were referred to when they were filming for Scientology Aftermath. And Mike Rinder is on the board of Child USA, so I'm assuming that's how they met. And then these cases were referred to him for a lawsuit against Scientology, and then a complaint was leaked by the Jane Doe who made the complaint. It's actually an attorney who made the complaint, but it involved her, that he had an inappropriate relationship with her and behaved in ways incredibly unbecoming, frankly, as a human, let alone as an attorney with his client. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, let's look at what Rabbit just shared here.
The board of directors. Mr. James, Mr. Richard, Brittany, Benjamin, Justin, Jeffrey, Tom, Mary, Hillary, Jennifer, Jeffrey, Mike is still there, Kathleen, Susanna, is it Esley, Christy, Dr. Leslie, Karen, John. Well, where did Brian go? So I don't want to assume, but I have to kind of assume at this point that somebody got removed from the prestige Child USA board.
Yeah, so it looks like Brian Kent, I have not seen any type of formal announcement, but he's not on there. He's not on the website. You know what else he's not on? The firm that he was a partner in, he was listed on there as a partner. If you go there now, not there either. Not there. What is happening? And it's just very interesting too. I was very curious to see how Child USA would handle this with what was released and what the changes are. Now that he's not on there and he's not on the website for the firm where he was a partner either, he's not even on there, not on there as a partner. I mean, it's good that they're doing this. It's just curious, I wonder when it actually came off. Will they just quietly take him off and then move on, or take him off and make an announcement? I don't know. We're kind of all waiting to see what happens, but kudos to them for taking him off if that is indeed what happened. So I think we're going to continue to hear a lot more about that. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. Mike Brown here on YouTube. Oh, you guys, he did an incredible interview over at Cults to Consciousness. We're going to take a look at just a little bit of a clip from that. I got a link to the video down below. You have got to go watch the whole thing. It was so great. If you are not familiar, Mike Brown grew up in Scientology in the SEAL organization. He himself got out, and then his mother remained in for years and experienced horrific elder abuse, both physically and financially. And he is sharing his mother's story in the hopes of raising awareness and putting an end to that type of behavior and activities in Scientology and in the SEAL organizations, And his interview was fantastic. Let's take a little peek.
While she was there, she slowly taught herself to use the internet, removing her own indoctrination that was put over her by kind of doing her own research bit by bit. So now I have this elderly woman that's in California that I don't have any legal rights to, that wants to leave. How do you do that with a person that requires oxygen? The hospice facility that they put her in was significantly better than the way that she was living when she was at the Big Blue building in Hollywood. They wanted her off campus because they were scared that if she died on their installation, they would have to call medical services. Medical services would see how their staff are living. They had, like, all these adults were in a room jammed in there with a bunch of bunk beds. Seniors, they were sleeping on bunk beds in this room that had no heating or ventilation. People would work there until they died. She also started slowly sharing with me some of the financial crimes that had been perpetrated on her, which we really didn't find out fully about until we were able to help her escape.
Amazing interview. Definitely go over and check it out. That's on Cults to Consciousness. That was with Mike Brown. And you can find Mike Brown here on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe. He's doing amazing things with raising awareness about this issue, using and highlighting the story of his mother, Rosemary, who blows my mind with her bravery and willingness to share this now. I just think she's amazing. I think they're both amazing, truly. Truly, truly, truly. It was just so great. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go to Hollywood. Hollyweird. Hollywood. Over at the Blue Buildings for Scientology, right off of L. Ron Hubbard Way. Let's go take a look at what's happening over there. DOA, Defender of Ants, was using his poster flyer tech and getting lots of them up. I thought this was cool. Let's check it out. I just love that he does this. He puts the flyers up. Scientology comes and takes them down. He puts them back up again. The information is there, hopefully for Scientologists to see, but even people who pass by, neighbors of Scientology. It's all opportunity to start a conversation about the fact that Scientology is a human trafficking cult, raise awareness of that and get the word out. All right, so other big news that came out, Jacob Harkey, we are going to look at a clip from his video that he shared about how a judge granted Miscavige's preemptory challenge. He's going to explain what that is, which case it is. We're going to take a little look at that. So let's get that pulled up. I just love Jacob Harkey too. He does such a good job. This is from Jane Doe versus RTC. Let's pop in here.
The Jane Doe v. Religious Technology Center case, which I've been keeping an eye on. And today's hearing was eventful in ways that I did not anticipate. Now, as a quick recap of what this case is about, this case was filed by Jane Doe. Jane Doe is an ex-Scientologist and ex-Sea Org member who was recruited into the Sea organization by Gavin Potter. Gavin Potter then essayed her, and when Jane Doe reported the essay that she experienced from Gavin Potter to the church, she was forced into a marriage with him. That is a big part of what she is suing over, and she's suing Religious Technology Center, Church of Scientology International, Gavin Potter, as well as David Miscavige himself, who multiple service attempts have been made against. Now, today's hearing was specifically about the motion to compel arbitration. So this is something that we've seen in just about every civil lawsuit that has been filed against the Church of Scientology in recent years by.
Now, so that's the case, right? It blows my mind how I don't have a deep understanding of the legal system on how a judge he kind of basically was like gonna side with Jane Doe. And then Scientology files this thing and gets the judge removed, just like they did in the Leah Remini case. And go and check out Jacob's full video to get all the info on it. And yeah, have your mind blown. Apparently they can do this, and they did. Who knows what's going to happen, or if it really is going to have any effect on the end result, on where things are headed. I think Scientology, actually, you know what? They're probably not waking up to the fact that the legal system is not, it's not necessarily the legal system of past years. Things have changed. We have video, we have the internet, we have so many more things. It's changing how these cases can be presented, evidence, and all of that. So we shall see. Also, Fluffer Squirrel brings out a good point. Jacob will also be at the IRS protest in LA today. That is awesome. I don't even know what number date it is today. Is today the 17th? Because wasn't that on the 17th that we're going to do one, and then again on the 24th, right? I know that if you go to my community page here on YouTube, there is a link in there with a flyer for this, but head over to Jacob Harkey's page too to find out more about it, because that is something I'm keeping an eye on as well. It is? Okay. Indeed, it's the 17th. Okay, good. All right. So then the IRS protest in LA will be today. That's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Then I believe again on the 24th. All right. Thanks, you guys. That's great. Yeah, I just love Jacob Harkey. He's just so great. He does such a great job. Okay, going back to the blue buildings in Los Angeles, we're going to look at a clip from the lore of DOA. And I don't know if you guys saw this. So DOA was out there, and there was a guy who was there before who's some type of loco who was walking around and talking to DOA, and he wanted DOA to go up the stairs at the blue building, which DOA knew, no. He's already been trespassed, and that will get him in trouble. So the guy took DOA's phone and went up there and walked down. He himself trespassed, and then he took off. Well, of course he takes off, and what happens? The police come, because Scientology called in the trespass, as they
has nothing to do
do.
with us. You can go, and they called, right? You can go ask this.
And Scientology Audit Streets LA is there. Solomon looks like he's there as well. And this is when the police showed up after they got the call about the guy who trespassed, who had nothing even to do with the protesters.
Security, ask to see some tape, and if you see somebody out here who trespassed, but there's no reason to be here.
I'll talk to them.
All right, you guys,
the information to you guys. Make sure you guys.
There's nothing to talk about. But you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
You take care.
You talk to everybody else.
No.
You guys,
you guys want to talk to him? I don't want to talk to him. Hey, aren't you guys going? Don't you guys go home?
All right. We were in the middle of having a conversation. You're kind of interrupting what we were doing.
Yeah.
I appreciate.
We were talking about WYSIWYG.
Yeah, we were talking about
WYSIWYG's a cuck. WYSIWYG's a cuck.
You guys. There's, P3. I get your rookie right here. There's no reason to be here. You're trespassing the property. Right?
Yeah.
We were in the middle of having. Listen, we were in the middle of having an interview. I know. Listen, you all that, but you're just interfering with what we're doing. You have a good night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For me, the best part of that video was William letting them know, you're kind of interrupting. We were in the middle of something. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night. Just like that gentle nudge away. That's right, Venus. The rookie is trespassing. Oh, wasn't that funny? I agree with you, Kim. That was hilarious. Right, Kate? Bye. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Oh, I thought that was great. Okay, let's see here. That was seriously, I know, the good father. I agree. I completely agree. All right, let's see where we're at here. We are going to go over to Confident Chris's stream. Some of you might have seen this, some of you might not, but he was out there doing his thing, Confident Chris, and he sees this guy in like this green hoodie and green, looking a little sus, and so he's videotaping him, watching him. It looks like the guy's actually, I think he may have been urinating in the public, doing the public urination. Which you don't see, so don't worry about that. No need to avert your eyes for this video here. But there's a whole story to this, it turns out, which we're going to jump into. But here's the video of Chris being by the guy wearing green.
I think he after the guy. Remember we said the guy was tweaking over there? Right here, you guys see it? Wait, hold on. Right here. The guy right here. I think William is like, I think he's peeing right there, honestly. You see that?
So you see the guy in the green, he's standing there, he thinks, maybe this is a potty break, like what's happening here? He's just there. And then Jessica joins and they find out what was going on. Check it out.
I was up front. The security guy for the hospital came over. He's like, "Have you seen someone wearing green?" I was like, "What?" It's like,
"Oh yeah, I saw
someone wearing green that escaped."
Oh, That was the guy we had earlier, chat. He was just peeing. Even William saw him. He was just peeing.
There's someone that escaped the hospital.
I need to go. I need to go see. Guys, he escaped the hospital. He
When did
escaped
you see him?
the
How long ago?
like an hour ago.
Still over here?
Nah, cause he like left. He like probably jumped the fence or something. Oh yeah, we need to go.
I feel like we're about to get spotted for some reason. I was just walking around in circles. I
was literally like William was literally trying to stop him from like peeing or something. So hell no, this is why you stay on my channel, chat. We low-key need to go back. I'm like
just these side stories that pop up in the middle of protesting, in the middle of the whole everything happening with Scientology and the live streamers. It just cracks me up. And yeah, he did. The guy escaped. Oh no, he escaped. He escaped from the hospital and they were looking for him. Joe, I agree with you. I love how excited Chris gets. Confident Chris. There is nothing like it. If he could bottle that excitement, especially when him and Jessica Palmadessa are together and something funny or surprising happens, I think that would be like amazing. Right, Lil? Love their laughter together. Same. Farrah says, yeah, that was crazy. Green short guy escaped, and there they saw him. Caught on the stream. Look at them out there just being like true crime fighters, helping to solve the case of the missing escaped patient. Oh, gosh, they crack me up so bad. Let's go take a look at La Poubelle. I feel like we haven't peeked in there in a hot minute. And take a look at this setup that DOA has going on outside La Poubelle, where there are also still protests going on. This is like quite the setup here. That's what really caught my eye here. Check it out.
For something, man. It's over for you, buddy. I mean, and
this is from Scientology Audit Streets LA from his stream. But look at this. He's got the whole van. Scientology's a cult. He's got the Danny Masterson thing there. I mean, it's just such a great setup. He's got the flyers, table set up. I mean, look at all that. And there's more. It's like this isn't even all of it. Look at that. I just love it. I love it so much. Dempsey said he adores that table. I'm sure it's very helpful. Very helpful. Lil says, laughter is so healing and great for your central nervous system. Oh, hip, hip, hooray to that. I agree completely. Sandy McKenna, yes, sidewalk living room. It was very much giving sidewalk living room, wasn't it? Just kick back. I think it needs to break out a full-blown recliner. Just get a recliner there, get super comfy, settle in. Oh, I would love it. I know I would love it. Okay, let's go take a look at, where are we? I think we are going to Portland, where Moose on the Loose 38 had a very interesting encounter. I think I've got 2 clips from Portland. I'm pretty sure we're in Portland here. Let's take a look at this.
Hi. Listen. Oh, it's locked. She's trying.
Of course, the Scientologist tries to get out, and one side of the door, of course, is locked.
To say hi to me. How you doing? I'm just saying hi. You doing good today? Okay. Am I sorry? Do you know me from Scientology? I am actually. Yeah. So I'm just coming to see what's up around here. Yeah. I know I haven't. I don't have enough money for all that, but I know it's expensive.
Okay, I just got a comment on this here. So, did you hear what he said? I don't have the money for Scientology because, it's so expensive. And she goes, well, not all of it. That, my friends, is an honest answer. Most of it is super expensive, but not all of it. They do have those $60 courses that you can do in those home study extension courses, which I think are even cheaper. So technically, she's telling the truth. But I was shocked that she actually said it.
$50 for a course?
Yeah, and they're what they're designed to do is help you in life, like with money or
Yeah.
Very basic things that apply to self-love and becoming more productive and successful, or they're just talking about relationships and marriage.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff. But that's what I wish. I mean, I just don't really believe what I've heard is like the family disconnection stuff, because I'm really, really close to my family. What?
Nobody makes anybody disconnect.
Here's where she starts to spew some things that are not true, but it gets better because she actually comes closer. So she actually comes out of the building to continue this conversation.
Themselves decide to disconnect. They read the ethics book and they're having trouble with their family. You know how there's dysfunctional families?
Yeah.
Well, they're having trouble with their family and the family's bringing them down.
Okay.
You know, and like,
But what if
This lady is doing the work for us. Let me tell you. This what she's saying about like, oh, Scientology doesn't make people disconnect. They read the ethics book and they're having trouble with their family because there's such thing as dysfunctional families. Then they decide to just disconnect, making it sound as if the church, that the cult, excuse me. Oh, what did I just say? That the cult has any say or control over that. Here's what happens in an actual, if you're being handled, you have an antagonistic family member and they whip out that ethics book. I don't have a book here, but pretend I do. And then they show you it's handle or disconnect, and then continue to show you how it's going to be impossible to handle them and lead you to the conclusion that the best thing is to disconnect from these people, especially if it's a family member that is now a former Scientologist. So it is BS that it's left up to the individual, because I can tell you, people wouldn't be disconnecting. There would be some, I'll be honest. There are some people who just don't get along with their family or have people that are toxic and they just don't want to be around. Nothing wrong with that. It's when it's being enforced. And this is where the lie is, that it's totally up to the person in Scientology. That is complete and utter BS. You are pressured into it. You were pressured into it. Not to say there aren't a couple Scientologists that are like, you know what, F those people. I've had it. Who don't like their family or friends or whatever. But for an organization that claims to have the solutions for war, for insanity, for all these things, but cannot solve interfamily relationship communication problems and issues, I don't know. That seems like a glaring out point to me. That seems like a giant red flag. And it gets better, you guys. Watch this.
But if you're like so young where like you have to like disconnect like from a child? You don't have to, but it seems like y'all have to. Okay, well, I mean, the research I've been doing, it's very clear that that's what y'all do here. And it's sad. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
they pee right here. No,
But,
a disconnection. You mean a disconnection?
Did she just say they pee right here? The first time I heard that, I didn't hear it when I watched it originally. Like at the door? Are people peeing at the door of Scientology in Portland? Tell me in the chat, tell me in the comments. Did you hear that? I will go back and listen to it, but I could have sworn she said they pee right here. Hold on a second. Let's just back that up a little bit and get her pulled back up.
But what if you're like so young where like you have to like disconnect like from a child? You don't have to, but it seems like y'all have to. Okay, well, I mean, the research I've been doing, it's very clear that that's what y'all do here. And it's sad. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
They pee right here. No,
But,
a disconnection. You mean a disconnection would be the only reason a person would have to disconnect from a child is if their wife, they disconnected from a spouse.
yeah, so you're saying that the kid would? Okay. That's
Obviously, this woman doesn't know Tom Cruise. If she knew Tom Cruise, who Really looks like he never speaks to Suri, disconnected from the child after Katie Holmes escaped clutching that child from the grips of Scientology with the help of her family and created a whole new life for them. And Tom Cruise is nowhere to be seen when it comes to that child now. Although, let's be honest, it probably was his choice. Because Tom Cruise strikes me as someone who is pretty much like his best friend, David Miscavige. Two peas in a pod there.
Always in the middle of crap like that. Parents divorce, one parent
That's
decides
true.
to run off and never let the kids see the dad again, you know?
Yeah, but when there's an extra thing of like Scientology involved, it really makes it like you
It's
can't.
still the person deciding.
Okay. Well, do you have family that you've talked to your family, right?
Yeah, I don't want
Oh,
anybody. You know why?
why?
Because my family is good.
Well, that's
You know,
good.
and I mean, a lot of it is the family, like, hates the person being in Scientology. And so they're always like ragging on it and bugging them.
Because they probably did research that y'all can't read, like on Google and stuff, and it's really sad.
But you know what?
What?
A lot of that is not true. It's people who want to harm Scientology. Because I've been in Scientology for 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, and
Did you join? Well, of course you.
And here's the thing. This is how Scientology will twist it. Oh, they want to hurt Scientology. They want to harm Scientology. Yet Scientology or the Scientologist or the Scientologist doing the handling never goes, why? Why? Why are they so upset? People don't just generally get upset and feel like they need to pull their family member out of something unless where there's smoke, there's fire. But maybe find out. It's not just some random, oh, Scientology, I hate that. No particular reason. Just don't want my family member in it. That's why I rag on them so much, because they're not allowed to look. So it's so interesting to me that she's saying all of this. Watch what happens to, well, I won't spoiler alert it, but you probably know what's coming.
You volunteered to join?
Yeah, no,
Have you ever done that?
They don't do that. That's all right.
Okay, well, I hope.
I mean, maybe way back, I don't know what it was.
You guys, did you hear that? Things that make you go, oh, she said, so she made this joke. It's not like they tie you up and they keep you there. Nothing like that. All of those things are not true. I mean, maybe before that might have happened, but people definitely are not being tied up now. What in the world of Xenu is happening here? Don't get me wrong, I'm here for it. I love it, but this is what I mean. Scientology and Scientologists are their own worst enemy, and God bless her for telling the truth, at least half of it. We don't tie people up. What, are you kidding? Oh, and keep them in the basement? No. I mean, maybe before that might have happened. I've only been in Scientology for 20 years, but you know what? It could have, but who knows? I know what, right? You guys heard it too, right? It's blowing my mind. When I heard this, when I saw this, I was just like, ooh, I got to take it to the people. And you guys got to tell me if you're hearing what I'm hearing, because that just blew my mind. I'm loving this lady, whoever she is. She is my new hero. Let's check out some more.
When like LRH in the Stone Age. Okay. And you can believe that, but I can believe what I can believe as well.
But this is just my reality. But a lot of people that were in
There we go.
I'm sorry, you're in trouble. You were very nice.
Oh, that is one of the best conversations that I have seen with a Scientologist. That lady is so busted. So busted. And I tell you what, lady, if you're watching this, we will help you. Just go look for the SPTV Foundation.org. Find us, find anybody on SPTV on YouTube. Go find any protester out there and we will help you. There is help available to help you get on your feet and escape Scientology. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, Fluffer saying Moose was wearing your hoodie. Moose, you got to send me a picture. I think I missed that. Oh my gosh. That's right. Capital call out to the RPF with you. oh, this woman's going to be getting the handling of the century, let me tell you. There was so much in there. I mean, yeah, she doesn't have the whole truth down about the disconnection, but the fact, I still cannot get over it that she's like, no, we don't lock people up, not anymore. I just can't. It's like this gift from the heavens. I just feel like we're gonna have to play that over and over again. Somebody please make it into like some kind of meme or put it to music or do something, because that was absolutely amazing. Now let's take a look. Hey, Carrie Ann was also there in Portland, and she has another conversation with a Scientologist about Leah Remini's book. And I thought this was really interesting too. Let's take a look at this. Hey, Carrie Ann is always outside there in Portland. And I love seeing Moose on the Loose there, because if I remember correctly, he was over in Seattle as well. Let's take a look at this.
Hello, how y'all doing? No, well, sure. We're here taping about Scientology. Yeah. Yeah.
Just seeing what's up.
Just seeing what's up.
It's too bad they closed all the blinds for you.
Yeah, they close all the blinds for us. They do.
You have a great on internet. TV,
Scientology.tv. Yeah. We will take a look. Have you read Leah Remini's book?
Yeah, do you know about her?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She did?
I think she didn't.
She went.
So she said, it sounded to me like this woman was like, oh yeah, I read Leah Remini's book, totally. She totally went against the grain. That is one way to put it, incredibly lightly. And if you read Leah Remini's book, I don't know, either you are massively new to Scientology. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I read Leah's book. She went against the grain, but hey, whatever. Again, just like, oh, I don't know if she did. But isn't that interesting? And this is the beauty of being able to have these conversations one-on-one with Scientologists. Let them talk. Let them talk. Because when you let them talk, this is what happens. And when you have an opportunity to have that open dialogue and they feel safe, you can ask questions that they will actually answer. And it makes them think, right? Because when you're hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth about Scientology, and you are realizing the question you were asked triggers something that makes you look at it and go, oh, wait, that's kind of a good point. And I'm saying this as someone who was in Scientology for 35 years and experienced that myself. When people asked me certain questions, because when I had done a little bit of media for Scientology, and I would be asked certain questions, I would be prepped for them, and then I would be reprogrammed afterwards if there was anything I heard that was against Scientology or L. Ron Hubbard. It makes you think. It really does. Okay, I want to share with you guys so here, since we've been in Clearwater, we've got to meet a lot of the people who are here locally, and so many people that came out that support what we're doing. And thank you guys for that, by the way. I was just shocked by how many people came out to when we did the meet and greet the other night, because it was something that we kind of put it out there, but not really. And the reason we did was because we were getting so many messages of people coming to town and wanting to meet everyone. And we thought, okay, this is when we can do it. Let's do it then. And it was amazing. And in meeting so many of the people who are like Lori Plays and Farrell Cheryl and Sandy McKenna and Tampa B-Man and so many people, I love seeing what they're doing. And Poe on the Go did a video with a few people, including Dustin, who's here, Dustin Soda Fountain. We're going to take a quick peek at it and go and check out the whole video when you guys have a chance. This is on Poe on the Go's channel, and he's chatting with Lori Place, Farrell Cheryl, and Dustin Soda Fountain. And for those that don't know, Poe on the Go is, I'm not sure what branch of law enforcement he was in, but he was in law enforcement. Lori Plays is retired law enforcement as well.
We got Cowboy Dustin, we got Deputy Lori, and Chief Poe. So we got it covered. Land, sea, air, and desert. We got them all. So
Yes.
the 4 seasons of
oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And you guys, Farrell Cheryl is the one that makes those body thetans, the little body thetan dolls. So go check out that video. Get to know them better. They're just amazing people. And I love that they're out here doing this. It's incredible. Just amazing. So go ahead and watch that when you get a chance. Something else you need to watch? Oh, this is the other thing that made me go, oh, Pearlsnappy. Pearlsnappy in Austin has leaked some documents. Yes, trash tech strikes again. Get ready for Austin to lock up their garbage cans. Actually, you know what? I don't know for sure if that's where this came from, but it was an assumption I made, but you guys got to hear this. So you know how in Scientology, everybody has statistics? Well, in Scientology, when you're a staff member or you're in the C organization, you have to write what's called a battle plan, a plan for that week on how you're going to get your statistics straight up and vertical for L. Ron Hubbard and for, I guess, also for Tom Cruise's best friend, David Miscavige, for him too. Hip, hip, hooray, straight up and vertical. So you write this battle plan and you have certain targets. And if you're having trouble or things are slowed, you're supposed to figure out what the why is and all of that stuff and come up with a plan. Well, they found an example of this and have evidence that recruitment in Austin is sucking. It just sucks. And they cannot admit that it's because of the protest. They can't come out and say, well, you know what? The why is Pearlsnappy. When that is the why, it's because of the protest. It's because of the wrench into their recruitment that has been being thrown at them through multiple people showing up at different times of day protesting Scientology. But check this out.
So they're not really doing so.
And so, you know, this is Pearlsnappy on her channel with Nancy Drew and Selfless Self, both who were there with her in Austin during they protested at Friday night graduation, and then they did Squirrel Fest.
Well, when it comes to the recruiting, something that you'll notice that is not included in any of these notes is that there are protesters that are probably preventing this, and that, you know, everyone already knows it's a cult. So they can't say that. They cannot say that in this document report. They cannot say that, going up to OSA, this report, they cannot say it's because of the protesters. That's the whole, the why is God, but in our case, the why is Pearlsnappy. You won't see anything about protesting or the fact that people just think it's a cult and go in.
That is a fact. You won't see anything about protesting, and that's why people won't go in. It is making an impact on Scientology and their recruitment, and Pearlsnappy has the receipts to prove that. So we'll have to see what happens with Scientology now once they see that in Austin. She's out there just with the receipts of all types. Go Pearlsnappy. And yes, that is the why they're in Austin. I agree, Joe. She is awesome. I love what all of them are doing. I love that they came together. Dan Walks LA, traveled to Austin to do Squirrel Fest with them as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Andrew, look at Andrew calling y'all out. Only half of us click like. Come on, it's the least we can do, literally. I appreciate it. It does help you guys. So if you could please hit the like button, I truly would appreciate it. And check your subscribe button as well. Meanwhile, we're going to go over to Chicago because, ooh, Chicago neighbors are upset. They're upset. They're pissed off. Scientology is just not making friends left and right. Okay, so you guys know how trashy V12 B&W did a little bit of dumpster diving behind Scientology in their dumpster, and he found this treasure trove of documents, of literal receipts that he shared with Aaron over at Growing Up in Scientology. They did a whole video about it. If you didn't see it, you can find it on Aaron's channel. Go check it out. Completely worth watching because it's actually super embarrassing. I'm actually embarrassed for Scientology over this, if I'm being honest. I am so embarrassed for you. It is a fantastic video, but you find out all kinds of information about Scientology behind the scenes. The unfortunate thing is Scientology felt it was okay to have social security numbers of people written, and let's just toss that in the garbage where anybody can get it and find it. So if you are a Scientologist, even if you're one that might be under the radar, be aware that Scientology could be leaking your social security number to pretty much anybody who would like to take a quick peruse and look through their garbage. Because it was found, and then what did they do? Scientology went and put this giant lock around the garbage can, and then Windy City Satan Watch showed us that they're shredding everything now and then putting it into the garbage. So you know what? You should be shredding things, Scientology. You know, now that I think about it, Scientologists in the Chicago area really owe thanks to Trashy V12 BMW, Windy City Thetan, Nancy Drew, all of the protesters out there, because they found, discovered, and shared the fact that your social security numbers are just floating around like that. Scientology, at least in Chicago, at least for now, is shredding those documents before they throw them away. So you are welcome. But y'all should definitely, if you are under the radar, or even Office of Special Affairs, if you happen to be catching this, or your volunteers, you owe a big thank you to them for doing this, because letting people's socials float around like that is just not cool. And what is not cool is what these neighbors have to say and how they feel about it. And warning, there are a couple of F-bombs in here, which is why I'm sharing it more towards the end. There was no way around it, but it's a great video. Let's see, make sure I got it pulled up. Check this out.
Yeah. Tell Alderman Conway, because he let a cult here, he'd at least give us back our trash cans so I don't have to carry my dog poop 3 blocks.
They locked them. They locked them all up, right?
Yeah.
Anytime. You're talking about back there?
Down here
only
too.
trash can in the area now is by the bus stop.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
That's the only one.
Here.
They let a cult
There's a
in,
problem,
but we don't
you
even
have
have
to
a
put- if
fucking
you're-
trash
you
can
gotta
for our
put-
dog.
That's right.
Yep, they let a cult in, but they have nowhere to put their dog poop. So the neighbors are walking around with bags of poop and nowhere to throw it, because Scientology has now locked up all of the big trash around there. What is up with that? Just making friends left and right. There must have been some L. Ron Hubbard policy about that. The way to make friends and safe point yourself in a community, go lock up their ability to throw away their dog poop. They'll love it. They'll be quick friends. They will be flowing into your new ideal organization, which I hope you got a lot of trash bags in there, because you're going to need it, because people are going to be coming in with their dog poop. They're not happy. They're not happy, Scientology. They are not happy at all. Oh, okay, you guys, here's the deal. Here is the deal. Make sure that, like I said, when you hit subscribe, set that notification bell. We're going to go out and do some stuff today. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear, especially if you're on the replay, tell me what you think about this whole Real Housewives thing in New York. I want to know about what other people are thinking about that, because I am incredibly excited. One, it gives me an excuse to get caught up and watch Real Housewives of New York again. But secondly, the idea that there could be a Scientologist on it, I'm dying. I'm dying. It is a gift. It is a gift. Smooth Steve, SPTV in New York. Steve, great to see you out there. Do Scientologists have pets and like animals, or are they too low toned? They do have pets, and I think a lot of them do like animals. And to be honest, I've actually known quite a few Scientologists that have done things with the Humane Society and to help animals. So I definitely wouldn't qualify them as being animal haters. It makes you wonder, though, being they lock up the garbage so people can't throw away their poop. I'm not going to say something I was just going to say and make a joke about, because I don't want to be blamed for it if somebody is dumb enough to actually do it. But you can let your imagination run wild with that. Let's see. There was another question in here I want to make sure I grab. Escaping Falcon's Maze. Did you see the situation with Josiah? The lawyer representing his accuser is a guy Laura FM worked with when she was a teen in Scientology. Also, Jay wasn't actually breaking his RO, restraining order. Yes. So here's the deal there. You guys remember how Josiah was picked up and kept in jail for like several days when DOA was? And then he was out, and DOA was doing an interview with him in front of La Poubelle. And while they were doing the interview, the police came up, are like, hey, you're in violation of your stay away order. Scientology is right there across the street. And they lied. They were wrong. The restraining order, the stay away order, was not away from all Scientology buildings. It was the Hollywood Testing Center and the Blue buildings. He was well within his right to be where he was, but they took him off anyways, and he had to go to court. And the whole thing is fine. He got it cleared up. The video I saw, he said he feels good about it. And that was that. But not true that he couldn't have been outside of La Poubelle. He absolutely can be there. Anna says they will not address it on the show or in the press, but social media will. Okay, so Anna, I think you're talking about the Real Housewives of New York. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. How do you not? Because think about what comes up on the Real Housewives. A lot. And when they did the Real Housewives of Utah, they really kind of got into Mormonism and some of that. So I think it might. I'm not sure. We shall see. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, and it'll give me, like I said, a reason to stop watching again. So I want to watch that, but I want to hear from you guys too. So tell me in the chat, tell me in the replay, in the comments too. Will you be watching? What do you think about it? All right, everybody, I'm going to get out because we have places to go and things to do that are going to involve my sign. I got to go find it. All right. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting that like button on your way out and checking your subscribe button. I will be.
I think it's kind of usually.
Let's try that outro again. I just got like all excited with the buttons. Everybody, I hope you get out there and you have the most amazing cult-free day.